Welcome back, everyone, to a special episode of Yeah No No Yeah. If you follow us on Instagram, then you know we made a big announcement that we are adding a third host to the show. This is like the biggest change that we've had so far. So we added Keelan, who has been on several other episodes in the past. If you guys have listened to those, then you know he's our friend from Ireland. And we just thought that he would make a good inclusion into the podcast as a third host. And we hope that you guys enjoy the episode. Since it's his sort of introductory episode to the podcast, and he chose what we are talking about today, and that is the two Sidney Lumet movies, Dog Day Afternoon and 12 Angry Men. We had some great discussions talking about those two awesome movies. Check out the timestamps in the description if you want to jump to any certain point, avoid spoilers. Also, keep an eye out for the link tree in the descriptions of the episode or the podcast if you want to find our social medias, as well as the Patreon link if you do want to support the show. It helps us out a lot, so we of course appreciate that. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Do we want to introduce what's going on here?
Yeah, I was about to say, well, a lot's changed since the last recording. We'll get the little change out of the way first. I thought it was going to be the big change, but I'm finally in my new apartment. It's not,
Ooh,
you can kind of see a difference, but yeah, this is my first recording in the new place. It's so much more spacious. I can walk to work. It's a much better change. I'm a lot happier at this place.
That's great.
So yeah, that's one of the changes, but yeah, we have a big change, Liam, or I don't know who wants to do the honors.
Yeah, Keelan has joined us permanently as a co-host. So, yeah, some of the best episodes have been with Keelan. You might remember him from such classics as
all the best
mid-20s
episodes.
Incels, or
Jello
Shamalama Ding
Feligates.
Dong, Jello Feligates. Yeah,
Yep.
all the hits.
The top 3 episodes of the podcast.
I think you are in one of
Maybe,
the
I
top
don't know.
ones, actually.
A lot of the top ones are some of our very first episodes.
Oh yeah, well,
That are literally our first episodes. Then it's just kind of a downward decline ever since. But we're staying up. We're staying afloat.
With the addition of me, we'll get
Yeah.
back there.
yeah.
It spikes a bit, yeah.
Everyone hears Keelan gets on. It's like, ooh, wait up.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Now we have people from all around the globe, from America to Australia to Ireland. It's fucking nuts.
Literally in all 3
So,
continents.
All 3 continents. That's right.
The only continent.
That's true.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Wait, what?
What?
I don't know. I tried to think of the world map for a second, but I don't need to get confused. Yeah, we're glad to have you as a third permanent co-host. Yes.
I'm going to last 2 episodes, then just never show up again.
Call the next episode Keelan quits. Just history repeats itself.
That'd be a good
pretty
bit.
good.
That'd be a good bit.
Yeah.
Life stuff though, like if you want to start
Yeah.
off, Keelan, like talk about your life right now. How's life going?
It's going okay. Joined a podcast. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anything
Probably the
interesting?
biggest update. Yeah.
Anything interesting? No, not really.
There is
Not really.
one thing interesting that you did recently that I don't know if you want to talk about, but
Let's save that for topics.
okay.
Yeah, nothing else new with me, I guess. If that's it for you, Keelan, I'm guessing
That's
that
pretty
was
much it.
all you
That's the biggest
had.
change in my life
Okay.
in the past
And
year.
the apartment thing. The apartment thing's my the last year. The apartment thing's the only thing new for me, like I said. Just that's pretty much been it. And then yeah, this big update with the podcast. So exciting stuff, a lot's changing.
It was really funny when you posted I think a picture of like your TV setup and stuff, and I was like, that is indistinguishable from your last
Yeah.
apartment. Like it just looks the exact same.
No, exactly. That's people have been telling me that, and I keep looking at it, and it's just I haven't like given a full video tour or anything, but yeah, every time I post the TV, it looks like I haven't even moved. So people probably just think I'm lying about having moved, but no, it's.
You really
Yeah,
just
I
knocked
mean-
down that wall behind you where the fridge used to be.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say, I mean, at least we're not looking at my kitchen now. I got tired of looking at my kitchen and all the other recordings, but
Looks professional. You
so
got
that's
art and
about
shit.
it.
Books.
Yeah, I do. I've got books, artwork. I'm trying to look cultured, so hopefully it's working.
And 2 guitars.
But
Is this
and
MTV
2,
craze?
yeah, my guitars.
You play guitar?
I play the guitar.
Oh, cool.
Well, I do. I've been playing since I was like 12, but I haven't been. So yeah, I've been kind of rusty though. I haven't played in a long time, but I used to really play a lot.
I thought you knew, Keelan. That's podcast law.
I didn't know that.
That's.
See, we're learning stuff about each other with each episode.
Do you think I listened to the podcast?
You listen to every episode. I know you do.
I still haven't listened to the Flash episode.
You're not going to now
Well,
because you don't like.
he
listening
definitely
to your
won't
own
now.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So,
We'll see.
Say goodbye to Yana No Yeah, I guess, for you.
We lost one of our most loyal listeners.
Now I'm down to one
Damn it.
podcast I listen to.
I don't really know much life stuff for me that's like interesting. It's literally just working and sleeping and that's it. And I don't know. It's just kind of annoying, like with me, like just being like 25-minute drive away and it's like only ever 3-hour shifts. It's like, come on, just give me a bit more, please. Because, oh my god, the amount of fuel
That's
that I'm
true.
wasting to get there.
Yeah, like that just doesn't seem practical, but yeah, hopefully you can work more to make up for that. I don't know.
I'd like to, yeah.
But yeah, I guess if that's about it for life stuff. Before we get into, I guess, what we've been watching or listening to, gotta shout out the patrons. So shout out to kath.reviews. Kath, as always, thank you for still being a patron. Appreciate it.
It's required that you say thank you as well, Keelan, by the way.
Thank you, Cass.
Yeah, you're a part of the group now, so you got to
Thank you,
take up
Kath.
more responsibilities, unfortunately.
And thank you to moving _ pictures, Julia. She actually upped her tier from 5
No way.
to 7, I think. So yeah.
Wow.
Thanks.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Kath, you need to step up your game. Just kidding. Just kidding. You got more important stuff I'm sure you're saving your money for. But thank you. Either way, no matter how much you donate.
Thank you, moving _ pictures.
It's 3.
Yeah, there's 3.
No.
There's a long debate about
No.
this for a long time.
I know I'm sticking with 2.
We can go around. You can thank the next one if you like.
Oh yeah, do you remember the next?
Oh my god, this is my first one. This is my first patron thank. Thank you, Sarah's Popcorn Chat, for being a patron.
Thanks.
Thank
Sarah.
you, Sarah. Thank you. And thank you, Film Ardor. Wait,
How did you do that? You were on a streak, Quinn.
did I really fuck it up again?
did,
Oh my
you did.
god. What is up with Amy's username that I just cannot get right?
I don't
I'm
know.
afraid I'm turning dyslexic. I really am. Like when I read, I've been reading a lot more, but I've also noticed that I'm like mixing up words and I'm like, oh no.
I'm gonna call
Is
it
it
like
happening?
Popcorn Sarah's chat and the pictures moving.
Yeah.
Reviews
Oh
cat.
god. Yeah, Ardourfilm. Thank you for being a patron.
Thanks, Amy.
Gosh.
And last but not least, thank you to my mother.
Hell yeah.
Luna __ pal.
Hell
Appreciate
yeah.
it. I don't know why
Thanks,
she's
Liam
still
Bob.
donating, but
Hey,
I
that's
feel like
good,
she just
though. That's
forgot
nice.
or something that she's donating.
Probably. Oh man.
Keelan,
So,
get
yeah,
your
the
mother
faithful
donating.
5.
No.
My mom said that she's gonna try and start donating eventually. I think. I mean,
my
she
God.
listens to every episode.
We're
So-
already
Yeah,
broke
she actually
anyways.
does. Whereas my mum, I don't
Yeah.
think does.
Yeah. But I just try and forget that she does, because then I'll start censoring myself. And I'm sorry, Mom. Look, I'm almost 26. So
Anyway, what have we been watching or listening to?
let's see. I binged Black Mirror season 6. It's one of my favorite shows. I know it's a lot of people's favorite shows. It's still good. It's still not near like the early seasons, but I was very pleasantly surprised with the first 3 episodes. Like Beyond the Sea is easily one of the show's best episodes, and yeah, I wasn't let down. I was satisfied with the season.
That's good.
So that was something.
I've heard that episode's
Yeah.
pretty great.
It's really great. I mean, it's basically a movie. It's like an hour, 20 minutes, but I mean, it's got Aaron Paul, Josh Hart in it. It's the fucking performances are just insane. Like,
Is that one of
it's
Kate
really
Mara
good.
as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has Kate Mara. Yeah, it's just, it's like, it's a movie basically, and it's great.
Kind of like White Christmas.
Yeah, I was about to say like White Christmas, which is still probably my favorite
Honestly,
episode.
yeah,
I know it's like
it's
everybody's
so good.
favorite.
But it's so
yeah,
good.
it's just so good. It is so good. But Beyond the Sea has got to be top 3. Like at this point, it's
wow.
probably in the top 3 for me. It's that good.
I'm so behind on Black Mirror. I really got to catch up. I used to love it.
I haven't hated a season yet. Like people have been talking shit about this season, but like saying like it's not Black Mirror, which yeah, the last 2 episodes are definitely not. So once you get to it, you'll see why. Like they're going in weird directions, but they're still staying faithful for the most part.
Mm-hmm. I've only really heard about the Maisie Day episode.
Oh god, man!
My dad.
I want to spoil it so bad. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. My dad told me the whole plot to it, and I couldn't fucking believe it.
Like it's like, where is the sci-fi part? Where's the technology, the social satire? There's nothing that makes like what makes the show what it is in that episode. It's so, and the twist is fucking.
It sounds
nuts.
it's so bizarre.
Like it makes no sense.
It is so bizarre.
It's so weird. Yeah, just wait till you watch it, Liam. Gosh. But yeah, and then another quick thing that stood out, I watched Cube, which came out in 1997. Just a really good watch. I said in my review that it's like better than like almost all the Saw movies, in my opinion. I think it is.
I've always wanted to see that. I've always heard great things. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's really divisive though. It's kind of divisive.
I mean, from like people that I trust, like online, like I always hear people talk about that movie for some reason. But yeah, it sounds like it.
No, it was a fun.
It's a fun
watch.
It's a fun little thriller.
Yeah, and then the last thing I want to quick mention, I'm not going to talk about each of these movies. It's going to take forever. But I rewatched all the Insidious movies, and literally just today got back from the theater seeing the new one. And yeah, I liked all the movies on rewatch. Surprisingly, I didn't really like them the first time I saw them, but pretty much all of them are like 7s across the board, including the new one.
See, I've been hearing the new one is shit. Like, that's what I've been hearing.
People said the last one before this was shit and the one before that was shit. Like people really like everyone only praises the first movie and yeah, it's the best. But I don't know. I had fun with a lot of the movies this second time around. This new one is still my least favorite of the entire franchise, but you know, it was a good directorial debut by Patrick Wilson, and yeah, my god, it contains a scene that like is probably the best scare in the entire franchise. Everyone's been talking about it. It involves an MRI, and that's all I'll say. And
yeah,
I was like,
about
that was fucking creepy. Like, so yeah, if you ever see it, just a lot of horror for me, I guess. Yeah.
I've never really had much interest in them, even though I love James Wan. Like, I've never really been kind of drawn to the first one. Because it kind of seems like that.
I like him. Sorry, I was just about to say I like him better than the Conjuring movies, like still for sure. If we're comparing like James Wan, Patrick Wilson movies, but
yeah, I've always just kind of been turned off by like the first Insidious and those Conjuring movies because they seem like very jump scare heavy. And that's not like what I look for in horror. But
they're very
neither.
Basic horror, the Conjuring ones, but like they do it kind of well, I think. Like, they're not, like, super impressive, and I don't adore them. I'd never, like, defend them tooth and nail or anything, but, yeah, they're just good, I think. But I haven't, like, properly watched Insidious. Like, I think I told the story on the podcast of me going to see, like, the second, I think, out of nowhere when I was in, like, high school or something, and I was just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and I was just messing around with my friends. Oh, God, you'll be confused
as hell, yeah, if you try to watch the second.
We were just being, like, obnoxious, annoying theater kids, like, just sitting there and just being loud, so
man,
I wouldn't usually do that, but yeah,
they're really
that just reminded me too. Oh, sorry, Keelan. I was just about to say that just reminded me that I didn't even mention it, but I was sitting down ready to watch the movie today in the theater, and I was so happy because like it seemed like I was going to be the only person in the theater. Because who else goes to watch an Insidious movie at 11 a.m. on a Monday? I thought only I would be the crazy person to do that, but then this really annoying, weird couple. Like, sat at the very front, and I swear I could, no matter how many times I changed seats, moving further and further back in the theater, I could hear them talking, commentating throughout the whole fucking movie, saying like, "Oh, what's that behind him? What's that behind him?"
Oh my
and I was just like,
God.
I'm behind you, and I'm gonna kick you in the head if you keep talking. Like, it was the worst. But it didn't ruin it completely for me. So, just why do people do that?
I don't know. That's shitty.
But
Annoying.
yeah.
It's crazy how
Anyway.
popular those movies still are. Like, it's one of the best performing movies at our cinema right now. It's doing better than Flash and Indiana Jones were doing.
I think everything's
That's
doing better than The
crazy.
Flash right now.
Yeah, that's true.
It is.
Isn't
but
that movie bombing
better
now?
than
Oh, it bombed hard in our cinema.
I
yeah,
heard
it
it's
bombed
bombing
terrible
now,
in mine too. That's true. Me and Keelan both work at movie theaters, and yeah, it bombed terribly at both.
Hey,
so
I
should
went to
probably
opening
something.
night for it, and it was like pretty much full, so that was cool.
I bet
but,
the
like,
openings were
yeah,
full, but
just deflated after that, I guess.
yeah. But Insidious beating Indie out, like, that surprises me. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that, yeah.
Indie's been going
So-
strong, surprisingly. I didn't expect it to be doing so well here, but like the older crowd are going
Same.
to it, and it's it's good. Still haven't seen it though.
Yeah,
I'll probably
same
watch
with
it
my
eventually.
theater.
What have you been watching or listening to, Keelan?
I'll highlight some of my favorites from recently. So the first one I'd like to highlight is like my second favorite movie of the year, and it's Sanctuary. I don't know if many people have heard of it. It's like a
Oh, I've heard of it.
it's kind of like a small scale thriller comedy drama type thing, where like Margaret Qualley plays a dominatrix and Chris Rabbit is like, her client, and the relationship starts.
Is it dogs don't wear pants?
That was literally all I
Yes.
was just thinking
that
when
it?
you said Dominatrix. I'm like, that's the only movie I know that has one.
It sounds like that. Maybe it's just a remake.
Maybe it was awesome. It's my second
Yeah.
favorite movie of the year so far. It's really funny. It's really smart. It's really tense, and the two lead performances are fucking excellent. It's probably
Wow.
the
I
best
do
thing I've
wanna
seen
see
either
that.
of them in. So it's great. Well worth a watch.
Chris Rabbit's great. I can see him like really growing in the next few years.
I don't think I've ever like
Maybe.
loved him in anything, but this like made me be like, yeah, this guy's got something.
He's just a really good actor, I think.
The whole movie is just it's just about the relationship starting to splinter off, and it's kind of going through the motions of that, and it's just really interesting. I won't say any more, and it's really fun. It's really fucking fun. Another favorite of the year for me is Blackberry. I
really want to see that.
I want to see that too.
I had so much fun with it. It's like there's been a lot of like those kind of corporate movies recently, like fucking Air and that like Flaming Hot Cheetos movie, which is kind of a weird boom. But
Flaming Hot Cheetos.
yeah, there's like a
What
movie.
was that?
There's like a movie about the creation of Flaming Hot Cheetos.
I didn't even know about this one. I mean, I saw Air like twice, but I didn't know about this other movie.
No, it
Wow.
was like straight to
I
Disney
think
Plus.
Cheetos are a bit more important. Let's be real.
Yeah, they're more
The
important than
Nike
shoes.
shoes, probably. I mean, they're about the same. Not to me. I hate Cheetos, honestly. They're like my least favorite snack, and I always wear Nike stuff, so that's why. I mean, you know which one I'm going with, but
I've
yeah.
never had Cheetos, but anyway.
Never had Cheetos.
Yeah, they're not a thing here.
Wow. Well, you're not missing much.
But yeah, Blackberry is like really fucking good. It's so close to the 9 out of 10 for me right now. It's really fun. The soundtrack is fucking amazing. Glenn Howerton is holy shit. He's fucking amazing in it.
That's
he's
the main
probably-
reason I'm wanting to see it, obviously. But yeah,
And it's for a good reason, because he fucking kills it. He is phenomenal in it. And I can't sing its praises enough. It isn't like a corporate biopic that kind of like glorifies everything they do. It kind of just goes through everything that led to, BlackBerry going out of the phone market and being replaced with like, iPhone and Android and all that. And it's great. It's really great. Highly recommend that. And another favorite watch of mine recently was The Kid Detective, which I did not expect to be very good. And it ended up being one of the best things I've seen in the past while, for very personal reasons. Even though it's just like it's a film about like, a detective who was like a famous detective as a kid, and he was like solving mysteries as a kid, and everyone was like, oh, you're so cool, you're solving these mysteries even though you're like 12 years old. But then as he gets older, he starts to become a bit more jaded, becomes an alcoholic, and he's not solving mysteries anymore, and any that he does get, he just fucks them up. but then someone comes to him with like a murder to solve, so he goes off and does that. It's really fucking well written. It's really good. Score is amazing. Adam Brody should be in more things. He's phenomenal in it, and it takes like a turn at some point that is it's unbelievable, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone because it blew me away. But I really fucking love that movie. I didn't expect it to be that good, but it did a lot for me.
For my ones, I like, this is literally the only things I watched outside of the stuff we're talking about and rewatches. So I'm very bad with movies. I'm going through like a thing right now. I don't know. I'm just boycotting them. I don't want to watch movies anymore. I guess I watched Fateful Findings with Keelan.
We did, and it was awesome.
The Neil Breen movie.
Which?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with Neil Breen, right, Quinn?
I don't think I am.
Really?
I saw you guys log it. I didn't know what it was.
You don't know Neil Breen?
No.
Never heard
What
of
is
him.
that?
He's a famous director. He's like Tommy Wiseau if he was good. That's.
I pulled up the movie again, and yeah, it looks. Just from the poster alone, I'm getting that vibe.
It was a lot of fun though.
Photoshop.
Like it's just so fucking bad, but like in the best kind of way. I don't know. And like the whole ending sequence, like Keelan, you can attest to this. Like my god, it just went so fucking hard for no reason. It was weird.
Top-notch special effects, amazing dialogue. I was tearing up at points. But
Yes,
yeah,
that was a good one.
Man.
I'm a big fan of Fateful Findings, and I loved Twisted Pair. So recently,
Do you want to get into this now?
I'll get into it now. It's the perfect time to. So you're now familiar with Neil Breen, Quinn. You know kind of roughly
Yes.
who he is. He has
Tommy Wiseau adjacent. Yeah.
yeah. But he has a new movie coming out called Cade: The Tortured Crossing, and one of my co-workers sent me a Twitter post about like all the upcoming screenings in like some cinemas around the world, and he was saying like, you're the head supervisor of the cinema. Why aren't we getting this? So I took it upon myself to DM Neil Breen, and I was like, hey man, I love your movies. I'd love to get your new movie in our cinema. And he replied 4 minutes later, just saying like. And he asked for my email and my name, and I was like, yeah, this is it. And a couple of hours later, I received an email, and it was basically, where is it? I'll find it and pull it up. He says, Keelan, thanks for your interest in my sixth film, Cade: The Tortured Crossing. See website. I'm looking for a Friday or Saturday evening about 7 or 9 p.m. in August or September. What terms are you offering? How many seats are in your theater? What is your normal ticket price in US dollars? What city are you in? Are you thinking in more than one location? I have a large social media following in Ireland. Typically the theaters sell out very quickly. Let me know. And I still haven't replied.
It's
You gotta
solid.
reply though. It's Neil Breen.
I need to reply because I don't know how far I want to go with it, but I want to go somewhere with it. But it's enough for me knowing that I have a 100% authentic email from Neil Breen, and I'm very happy with that.
Well, you said you wanted to just like, I mean,
Oh no,
kind of scam him out of a screener link, didn't you?
You're not.
I'm
So-
like,
So
that was a private
poor
conversation,
guy.
but I'm bringing it to the podcast.
oh no.
You're fucking with Neil Breen, and I don't appreciate it.
No, I haven't gone through with it yet, but I said to Liam that if it went anywhere, I was going to say to Neil, look, Neil, the higher ups at my chain want to see the movie before we actually screen it. So is there any way to get like a screener link or something? That was my plan. I don't know if I'm going to go through with it because he's fucking rich. I don't want to fuck
Yeah,
with him.
he could like genuinely sue you, so be careful.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
I'll be very careful. I'm not going to go through with it. Well,
But that would be a good.
This guy's
That would
rich.
actually be a good way to promote the podcast, though. Like if you get famous for being sued by Neil Breen,
That's true.
you know.
That's true.
Taking one
Can you
going into debt and
take the
taking one
bullet
for the team.
Yeah.
Get sued.
Going into debt.
Maybe we could get him on the podcast. I bet we could get Neil Breen on a podcast.
doesn't-
I don't know
was
if I
that
want to
eager
talk to that
reply
man.
to your-
But
Really?
if you watch
You
Fateful
gotta
Findings,
get
like
somebody.
he's got something going on.
I mean, is he as weird as he's like as weird as Tommy Wiseau, right? Like, I don't know the guy.
He speaks better English.
Good. That'd make for a better recording then. Because if we got Tommy Wiseau.
He seems a lot more normal than Tommy Wiseau. He just seems like a rich guy who wants to make movies, and he seems genuine in what he does, and that's what makes his movies so funny. Because he's not like Tommy Wiseau, where now he's like trying to make funny bad stuff. You know, coasting off of the success of how fucking awful The Room is.
Well, I didn't know if Tommy Wiseau was ever self-aware. I thought he was still just making shitty movies, thinking that he's like a genius, but maybe you're right.
I don't think he's self-aware, but I think he's bought into the idea. Kinda.
Yeah. Yeah. He has to have at this point.
Although that Best Friends movie was fucking dog shit, and that was like completely genuine.
Oh, I still have to see it.
Don't.
I mean, meeting Greg Sestero made me want to watch more of his stuff, but I don't know if I will.
Well, the other two that I watched, one of them was The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry. I just...
The goat.
I went to the theater. I took my grandmother to see it because she wanted to. I would never have watched this movie otherwise. Very boring, I think. Like, it's just so, like, generic British old people movie, but, like, it's... I don't know, it's worse than that though, because like it kind of has these little moments of like weird editing and filmmaking techniques, and like it's just experimental for no reason sometimes, and I was just like, what is fucking going on here?
It's an old person movie.
I don't know.
What are you trying to do?
It's just really kind of boring, and like a lot of the character decisions like make no fucking sense to me, and like the entire character of Penelope Wilton's character, I can't remember her character's name, but like she was so fucking annoying, and she did nothing for the movie at all, and it just like it made it like feel like way longer than I had to. So yeah, I mean it was kind of boring, but it's like a sweet little story.
Kind of boring.
Yeah,
Even the name, The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry.
One of the best like reviews that I saw on Letterboxd though was like next up, the unsurprising divorce of Harold Fry, because their fucking marriage was so bad. But yeah, not great. Jim Broadbent was good though. He's like the best thing about it because he's a good actor. But yeah, the last thing that I'll go to is Blonde. Finally watched that.
Yeah,
I'm not like in the camp of like you and Julia and loving it or anything. It may grow on me on a rewatch. I don't know, but like it's just. It took way too much time for me to actually get to the point. Like the last 40 minutes of the movie was what really hooked me, because I was just like, this is where it gets like crazy and like, I don't know, like the emotions just take hold of you in such a like surreal way, and it's really, really special. But it's just up until that point, I'm just kind of like, I don't know why I'm meant to care at all. Like if that's the movie's intention, I don't know, but I just don't care at all. So yeah, it just really didn't hook me at all, but maybe it will in a rewatch or some more thought. I don't know, but yeah.
I don't know why I loved it. I think it was just the technically I thought the movie just like looked amazing.
It does.
I just liked the whole like how it was put together, and also just how it wasn't just another run-of-the-mill biopic. I'm like, good, they really showed like the dark aspects of like somebody's life. You know, that's what I like. Those two things is what made me really enjoy it. But I don't know if it has much rewatchability for me. But yeah, it was one and done. It was like one of those one and done movies I really liked.
That's the thing as well. It's like going to be hard to rewatch if I do decide to, because it's like 2 hours 47.
So long. Yeah, it's so long.
I was like, I was just like, this is dragging so much. But then like the last 40 minutes came in, and I was like, this is starting to get interesting now. Okay.
Yeah.
Got my attention back.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
We have like 6 minutes to talk about mini topics if we wanted to stay on time, but like whatever.
Everyone's already talked about this, but did we talk about the Secret Invasion show using AI art for their opening credit scene? And do we really care? What's your thoughts on that? That was a huge deal.
I heard about it.
Everyone was. Yeah, that was like a huge deal for a while.
I haven't watched the show yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But that is kind of shitty for someone like Marvel that has a lot of money, can clearly just probably help people out and get actual artists to do it.
Right.
No, the intent is there, but like I don't buy like the statement they made about like, oh yeah, it reflects the themes of the show or whatever. No, you just wanted to save money. You're Marvel. You're trying to cut corners wherever you are because you're fucking losing money.
Yeah,
it doesn't really
that's,
reflect it.
yeah.
Like that's a reach, I think. A big reach.
Like I kind of like, and there's so many people in the comments too trying to like say that same thing. Like people are on Marvel's side saying like it shows themes of like you're not supposed to know what to believe, and like, you know, is it human or is it not? Like, and I guess it kind of makes sense, but like you didn't have to. This is still like to their benefit of not having to like pay artists, you know, or like have actual people. So even if it is the point,
and it's
still,
like it's a fictional show anyway. It's not like it's like making a big statement like when you go to the opening credits and you're like, oh, that's AI generated. Like the casual viewer doesn't really know. Like they're not gonna care. Like it's
yeah.
Even then, with you saying like, oh yeah, you don't know if it's real or not. Like, have you seen like the actual intro?
Oh yeah, I have. I
yeah.
watched like half of the first episode. Yeah, and you can tell it's AI art. You can just tell because some of the faces are like so fucked up in the background. I'm like, this is AI art, but
it's so fucking
silly Marvel doing silly things.
Yeah.
Thank God the MCU.
I mean, it's
over
not
now.
a bad intro, but like you could just totally tell like this is.
Tell you what though, there will
AI
never
art,
be a
but-
better fucking Marvel intro than Daredevil. Okay, that shit
Oh,
is
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that rock.
And that was because of Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it was. Yeah. Netflix has some good intros to their shows. I'll give them that. Yeah. Did you want to do yours, and then I'll do my other one, or
I'll do
or
one of mine.
I forgot how we. Okay.
Sure. There was just a really like goofy, funny fucking story that I heard about recently, and it was because Charlie covered it. Like that's honestly where I get most of my news right now. But this actually happened in Australia though, so I only just heard about it. But over the summer of 2016 to 2017, this like only just got finalized, and like the guy got put in prison for it. So that's why it's news right now. But during that time, there was this guy in Australia that ran like a bouncy castle place, and and apparently he was like trying to take out every single competitor possible. So he was like an arsonist that was going around burning other people's bouncy castle businesses. And I have a quote from the man as well. You became very successful in the jumping castle industry, but you also became completely fixated and obsessed with it. It consumed your every waking moment.
He's like the Lou Bloom of bouncy castles.
Well, I mean,
the bouncy castle industry.
this guy, the way he looks is actually kind of unreal. Like, I'm just gonna screenshot it and send it in Discord so you can
Does
see
he
it.
look like Lou Bloom?
It's no.
Okay.
There you go.
Man, arson. I mean, that's a bit much. He could have just ran around popping the balloons or popping the castles. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at him.
He's a looker.
Why are his eyes so big?
He's got like a pinhead.
He
like
does
if
have a
he shaved his
pinhead.
head, he'd be like Patrick. Oh my.
Yeah, but I just thought that was
Those
really
glasses.
weird. Like a guy just going around burning his rivals' businesses down and over
Why is he so
bouncy castles.
Yeah, it's like I don't know why that'd be an obsession of somebody's. Something as a kid happened to him involving a bouncy castle. That's the only reason.
Maybe.
Or the
Yeah.
only thing.
It'd make a
It'd have
good
to be.
movie. Make a good fucking movie.
That could be.
Yeah, they should make one about like that whole situation.
The cutthroat.
Dan
fucking
Gilroy to
bounce-
direct it.
Yeah. My next one, maybe this was one of yours, Liam's, but yeah, there's that screenshot that's been blowing up about Wolverine and Deadpool 3. I
Yeah.
couldn't not
Yeah.
talk about it because, like, I mean, this is the first time we get to see Hugh Jackman in, like, the comic suit, so it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So even though we're not, like, big fans of, like, Wolverine coming back, like, I like this look. I like where this could be going.
Yeah, the look is very cool.
Yeah. So that's all we get so far, I guess, just the screenshot. But
I've seen other set images, and I won't say anything because they're kind of spoilery, but it looks fucking weird. I don't know what they're gonna do with this.
well, apparently they're bringing fucking Ben Affleck as Daredevil back.
Oh, yeah, I
They're
heard
bringing
that.
Elektra and just
multiverse.
random. Yeah, they're bringing in some multiverse shit.
I heard they're bringing in fucking Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart again as well.
Oh my god.
The whole X-Men crew, yeah, they're bringing them back.
I'm kind of excited, but I'm very sick of the whole like nostalgia dick riding train. I'm so just over it.
Yeah, me too. A bit, yeah.
It's doing my head in. Like, I really just don't want this whole multiverse thing to be an excuse for nostalgia. Like, it could be used in such a great way, but it's just being used for nostalgia right now. Like, I just want it to go crazy. That's all I want.
Yeah, like
no, exactly, yeah.
The way that Spider-Verse did it is like Spider-Verse and Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's the way I'd like a multiverse story done. But they're done.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with them. I don't think there's much use to... I don't think there's anywhere else to go with a multiverse movie.
The nostalgia shit in Across the Spider-Verse, though, that does bother me sometimes. But, like, that aside, like, the movie did a good job at exploring that, though. So...
Yeah.
I'm just kind of tired of Ryan Reynolds. And also...
Oh, yeah, we're all tired of Ryan Reynolds. That's old news.
I still like him as Deadpool, but everything else, yeah, kind of done.
But the last time Wolverine and Deadpool were in a movie together during a writer's strike, X-Men Origins Wolverine happened. So...
Yeah, and
I'm one of the only people in the world.
Yeah, that's very good for Quinn.
That movie. Yeah, that's good for me. I love that movie. But
I forgot about that.
No, Deadpool 1 and 2 I thought Deadpool 1 and 2 were both great, so I think this could easily but this is the same director as fucking Free Guy, so they're changing the
fucking
director.
forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh.
So that's what I was worried about with this.
I totally forgot
Can't
about
they
that.
get a better director? Like,
I know, right? It's all him and Ryan Reynolds do shit now, and it's just like, did anybody watch the Adam Project movie? I didn't. Like, I didn't want
Keelan
to.
did, I think.
No, why the fuck would I do that?
Torture.
That's a duo that we don't need, but I hope it's good.
Well, I thought we'd do something a little similar to that last thing that I did. You know how we did the most popular websites and shit?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I wanted you guys to guess one that's a little bit more apt for this kind of podcast, I guess, but top 10 franchises. What do you think?
Ooh.
Like grossing or like
like most popular franchises?
Yeah, most popular, like highest grossing franchises. And it's like media franchises, so games, toys.
Oh god,
movies.
that's a lot to cover. Are me and Keelan just both throwing guesses in and then just kind of take from both of those?
I guess I'm not gonna count up your
Yeah.
guesses or anything. You
Yeah.
can count them on your own if you want.
Yeah. Star Wars has got to be in there, obviously. Marvel, if you can count. I mean, is that a franchise? Yeah, right? I don't know. DC, I guess.
Call of Duty. Because games...
Yeah, that's probably up there.
Games do like insane business, like even more so than movies.
Yeah, like Mario. Is Mario like a franchise, I guess?
Yeah.
Because that's got to be in there.
Mario's probably up there. Is this like 10
yeah.
or...
Yeah, there's 10. But like, if you want to just throw guesses out there, and I'll just let you know what the list is after. You don't have to do exactly 10. It's up to you. Whenever you're done, just let me know and I'll read them out.
Oh, movie franchises, fucking...
Minecraft. I don't know.
I don't think Minecraft would be on there. Like, that game's only...
I don't know. At this point, it's like everyone's played Minecraft, so...
I got back into it recently.
Yeah. It's so old, but everyone still plays it.
But
so
the game is only 20 euros or dollars or whatever. That kind of deflates everything. But, shit. No, yeah, Marvel, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Mario. Star Wars. There's probably some... Pokemon's near the top, I know that for sure.
Pokemon. That's got
because that has games, movies, TV show, toys.
Do you want to leave it at that, or...
Yeah, let's leave it at that. Unless you got more, Keelan.
I can't think of anything else.
There's probably so many I can think of, but when I'm on the spot...
The list is kind of surprising, I think, honestly. It's a really interesting list. Okay, so from 10 to 1. Number 10 is at 31 billion, Call of Duty. So
nice.
I
got that one.
Genius.
Number 9 at 31.3 billion is the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Nice, got it.
Again, I'm a genius.
That
was me that said that.
No.
Number
listener
8.
can listen back and they'll know the truth.
Tell us in the comments. Number 8 at 32.6 billion is Barbie.
I'm 3 for 3, guys.
What?
Can't believe
I guess
it.
that makes sense.
Barbie is more highest grossing than fucking Marvel. Like, that's kind of crazy, honestly.
Insane. That's fucking nuts.
I believe that.
The movie hasn't even come out, so fuck. Yeah, I mean,
but
wow.
It'll go all the way up to 1.
It will blow up to one.
There are a fuck ton of like directed DVD animated movies about Barbie, which probably
That's true.
fucking
Yeah,
gross.
there's heaps. And actually,
True. And there's games too. Yeah.
actually, ardourfilm, like Amy, she's watched like so many Barbie things as well. Like she's got so many logged on Letterboxd. It's insane. I don't know why, but
That is
yeah.
crazy.
I gotta catch up before the movie.
Number
Barbie
7.
Cinematic Universe.
Number 7 at 34.6 billion is Wizarding World or Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, that was obvious.
Okay, Harry Potter. I was like,
Mhm.
what's this?
Um,
How did I not think of Harry Potter? The fucking books. Oh man.
Yeah, between the
Think
books
of
and the
books.
movies, and the game probably fucking took in a whole lot.
Yeah.
Secrets of Dumbledore is what really bumped it up, honestly.
Mm.
Oh yeah, for sure. With your
Um,
one ticket.
at number 6 at 38.4 billion is Pan Man.
What the fuck?
Anyone know what that is?
Is that a Japanese thing?
Yeah, it's a
no.
Japanese children's superhero picture book series.
Man.
Is there a movie
That's
adaptation?
interesting.
I knew there'd probably be some stuff like this in there.
At number 5 at 45.4 billion is Disney Princess.
Ah,
which-
come on.
Like
Oh.
it's a media franchise and toy line. Yeah, it's
Yes.
just every Disney princess thing.
That's cheating.
yeah.
That's just cheating.
Makes sense.
Number 4 at 48.4 billion is Winnie the Pooh. And we're getting into
Didn't
the
expect that.
getting
The
into the
Blood
top
and Honey
3.
movie bumped it up.
Yeah, true.
Blood and Honey.
Top 3 now. Number 3 at 51.8 billion is Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Knew it. Had to be a top 3. Yeah.
Number 2 might surprise you, but yeah, number 2 at 52.2 billion is Mickey Mouse and Friends.
Oh, that's not surprising.
Yeah, it's actually not, I guess. I should have known. Fucking Mickey Mouse.
Of course, like fucking 80% of the list is Disney.
And then number 1 at 76.4 billion is Pokemon.
I'm a genius.
Wow. Pokemon, but that's kind of crazy. I didn't think Pokemon would be 1, but I guess
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
It's fucking huge.
Wow.
I mean, it got that Ryan
That's
Reynolds
crazy.
bump.
I never got into Pokemon though, like at all.
You didn't?
No.
That was a big part of my childhood. I don't know about
I only got
you,
into
Keelan,
it with.
but-
I used to like the anime when I was younger, I think, but I only really got into the games with Pokemon Arceus, which I really liked. It was like, it was kind of like an open
The
world
only
Pokemon.
thing I did with them was like Pokemon Go when that came out, because I was just like,
Oh.
what's this goofy thing? And then I played it for a little bit, and then I deleted it.
Oh.
That probably fucking grows
Wow.
so much for them. Like, that's still going. Like,
Oh, had to have. Yeah.
Yeah, my
Like, I
cousin
still
No, I
friends
had
who
all
play
like the
it.
Game Boy games, like Sapphire, Leaf Green, all of those. Like I played those all the time as a kid.
and they always
But,
release like
yeah, I guess I'm not surprised.
they always release 2 games at the one time, and like a load of fans are just going to buy both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they still release like extremely broken games apparently, and like, they're meant to be like new and working, but they're always like just copies of each other and like shitter than the
Yeah.
last apparently. That's what I'm
Yeah, the
hearing.
new games have to be not as good as the old ones. Like I haven't played any of the new ones, but the old ones are just, you can't beat them.
That's why I liked Arceus
yeah.
so much. It's not like the top-down Pokemon. It's like a third-person open-world Pokemon. You can run around and fucking stealthily
sounds fun.
sneak up to Pokemon and throw your Pokeball. It's really cool. I like that game.
We should probably get into the main topics if we want to talk
Yeah,
substantially
yeah.
about them.
Yeah. So since this is Keelan's first episode, then he gave us a ton of options, like
Yeah.
a whole list
Did-
of double feature movies, and we ended up all kind of deciding on Dog Day Afternoon and 12 Angry Men, 2 movies by Sidney Lumet, who Liam still had to see both of them. So
Yeah,
And
I hadn't
those
seen
2
any.
movies-
I hadn't seen any Sidney Lumet at all.
wow.
They're the only 2 I've seen by him.
I really want to talk about them just because I would have loved to watch any of those other ones you said, because I hadn't seen a lot of those, but these 2 movies are just like masterpieces to me. Anyway, which one should we talk about first, I guess?
12 Angry Men, because it came out first.
Sure.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I feel,
makes
and I-
sense.
I-
Isn't this his directorial debut? Because if so, that's fucking crazy.
no way.
Is it?
Like, I think it is. I think this is his first movie. And to think that this is somebody's first movie is just nuts.
It's his first feature-length movie. Holy shit.
Yep.
Wow.
I knew it.
Okay, no.
It's crazy.
In
That
terms
is
of
very impressive.
In terms of
It
best
is.
directorial debuts, holy shit.
It's up there. It's up there with like it's top 10 best directorial debuts. I guess neither of you had seen this movie before watching it for the episode.
No.
I was gonna see like your first impressions. Like, were you afraid it was gonna be overhyped for you because everyone was saying like it's one of the best movies ever?
I didn't really feel that way, I guess, but like I went into the movie like not knowing too much about it. Like the only thing that like I knew was that it was about like a jury, but that was basically because of Peep Show showing me that. Like, you remember that episode, Keelan?
What was it? I feel like it has something to do with Oh no, wait.
Yeah, when he's like, I'm the 12th angry man, but I'm not 12. I'm not angry. I'm horny.
Oh yeah.
It's basically that. But yeah, I didn't know anything about it aside from it being like a jury thing, and like, yeah, that's basically what it is, I guess. Like, it's very, very simple. But it surprised me like how engaging the dialogue could be, like from scene to scene though. Like it really just like kept me engaged the entire time, and that's like kind of hard to do right now, especially because I'm like really not feeling movies lately. But this one I was just like in it the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, for a movie from the 50s with just a bunch of old men in black and white, like, you know, most people would be they think they'd be like bored to tears, but like I was, every time I watch it, I think I've only seen it maybe twice. I don't know if I've seen it a third time, but no, every time I watch it, it's just, I'm locked in. Like, I don't, just the way it's written, the way it's shot, just the way it's acted, everything about it, it's perfect. Like, I don't even know where to start with one of these. It's just, I don't know.
I had a similar like kind of like thing to Liam, where like all I knew is that it was about a jury and they're deciding the fate of like a young boy. Well, not young, he was like 18. Oh, I can't recall the last time I had such like a visceral, like audible reaction to a movie, like at multiple points in the film. Like, we'll get into it in spoilers, I guess. But it's just, I had so much faith in it because, you know, I'd seen Dog Day Afternoon before, and I know Sidney Lumet is able to, you know, craft a lot of drama and tension out of like, you know, confined spaces, which is, you know, the bulk of Dog Day Afternoon. Yeah, no, overall thoughts, it's worth the hype. It's worth the hype.
Yeah, no, that's a good point you brought up. Just like, and I love movies like this, to where like they're called bottled movies, you know, to where like it's just in one location, like Ex Machina,
that shit's always great.
Like Lock, stuff like that. Like, if you can keep me engaged.
Carnage is
Carnage. I haven't seen that one yet. It's been on my list forever.
Oh, that movie's awesome. You should really watch that.
I really need to, yeah. But yeah, if you can, like, if you're in one location the entire time and you can keep me fucking engaged like this, then it's really something special. And it's just, I don't know, it's just all about the dialogue and just everything.
I don't think I had like a really, you know, personal reaction to it or anything like that. Like, it didn't really shock me at points. I was never like audible about any of my reactions to it, but it was just like consistently engaging, that's all. Like, I was just always locked in, but nothing really shocked me about it or anything like that. And I honestly, about like both the movies that we're talking about, like, they didn't hit me personally or anything like that, but they're still movies where it's like, yeah, this is like fucking fantastic. Like, I can admire like so much about it, but it doesn't like do anything for me personally. That's all.
With 12 Angry Men, I don't mean it in the sense that like it hit me personally, but like how smart the writing is and how smart it like gradually unravels information.
Not only that, but like the characters, I think, are what really carry it. Just like each 12 person, or each of the 12 people, just like they're just so like distinct. Yeah, they're also well defined. They're fleshed out. Like, they all have their own unique personality, and like some are way more hateable than others. Yeah, they're also different. Like, some you just love, some you just hate. But like, even the ones you hate, you know where they're coming from and like why they are the way that they are. So like, apart from one.
Yeah,
which one?
The racist guy.
Not Lee J. Cobb.
No, the racist guy.
The racist guy. Yeah, fuck him. He was the
which
he was the
guy?
worst.
The racist old guy.
He was the
Oh,
one that went
the dude
on.
that just went on that fucking rant and everyone shut up.
Yeah, just that long rant, and then I love, and this isn't really like big spoilers, so we don't have to like give the warning yet. But just I love that scene where he won't shut up, and then the more and more he keeps talking, everybody just kind of gets up and just walks away, and then he realizes he's talking to nobody, and then he just sits in the corner, and it's like that was perfect. That was just perfect.
The shot is framed so brilliantly as well. Just like how they're all sitting at first, and then they just get up one by one as he's just fucking ranting about bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just such a nice shot.
So
and then by
done.
the end of it, it's like a perfect shot. It's a really good shot.
Because like that is, I mean, Sidney Lumet is just so smart too. Because like this movie feels like so ahead of its time. Because like that is how you should deal with people like that. Like if somebody's going on this like just like racist rant, just like literally just don't even give them the time of day. Like,
I honestly must have like not caught the first part or something like that, and like I don't remember the racist part. Like, what did he say? Did he say something?
He
racist?
just kept going on saying like, you know, these kids, these
people.
types of people, you know, they're always like, I'm trying to remember, but
it's like you know these types of people, like they're inherently violent.
Yeah, he didn't like say like. He didn't say the race directly, but he kept saying these people, like these kinds of kids, like, and because I think the kid that's on trial, is he like Hispanic? Is he?
Yeah, I think he was Hispanic.
It's hard to tell. Yeah, I think he was. So, and then one of the other jurors is Hispanic too. So like that was kind of an interesting dynamic too.
And like what he says something, like, oh yeah, you know these types of kids like that come out of the slums, they're all violent. It's just like shit like that. It's just like fucking.
Yeah, it's just.
And that one dude's like, terrible. I grew up in a slum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He was one of the best characters, I thought. I liked him a lot. Just, I don't know. All the performances are great.
One scene that I really, really loved, and like I won't get into like spoilers or anything, but like it's just that one bit where the that I think Hispanic guy like tells off that dude with the hat. Where he's just like, how can you play with a man's life like this just because you got a fucking baseball ticket or whatever, like burning a hole in your pocket? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I just love that whole scene. It was great.
Oh, it was.
I love that character.
That guy was a piece of shit too. Well, the baseball guy, but
yeah,
like I love all the characters in the way that like they're just so fucking well fleshed out. I love the juror number 2. He the guy who played him did the voice of Piglet in Winnie the Pooh, and that was very distracting at points in the movie for me. But
him, the really tiny guy, like the really small guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, the really like just like he was like a kid. He almost was like a little kid.
But the focus of the movie overall is kind of the moral dilemma between Lee J. Cobb's character and Henry Fonda's character.
Yeah,
and they're like by far the best parts of the movie. Like they're
easily
phenomenal.
Yeah, they just like form their teams like throughout the movie. Like they're like the leaders of like both moral sides, and just like they keep clashing, and they're just such like powerful like presences. Like both of them, I don't even know whose performance was better. They were both so good, and yeah, I loved it. I love them.
Sidney Lumet is just so good at like I mean I've only seen these 2 movies, but he's so good at like dragging like really powerful and electrifying performances out of his actors. Like there's a lot of that in Dog Day Afternoon, and I think it carries over to 12 Angry Men, where like every character, they have like a scene where they shine. Every single I can't think of one that doesn't have a like great scene, like one where they just stand on their own and they get to say their piece and they get to show their skills.
That the point you brought up, like that has to be something that he gets out of his actors in like every single movie he does, because I've seen these 2 movies obviously, and then also The Verdict, Network, and Serpico. In all 3 of those movies, there's just points of like these really intense monologues that like a character is just like freaking out or breaking down, and like it just gives vibes of like these movies to where they do that. And it's just, I don't know, it makes me want to watch more of his movies, even though those are like the most popular ones I've already seen. But
yeah, I kind of want to go on a deep dive through his filmography, because
it's,
if anything is nearly as good as
so
these
good.
2.
One thing I like thought was just kind of like a funny coincidence between like that like both of these movies share is that like the air doesn't work in both movies. Like
That's true.
They're all just sweating the entire way through.
Yeah.
I think they both take place on the hottest day of the year, of that year, which is a weird coincidence. I kind of noticed that at the start of 12 Angry Men, where they're like, oh, it's meant to be the hottest day of the year, and they're like opening the windows. What part was it? But like it's very late on in the movie, and everyone's just like dripping with sweat. Like juror number 1 is just like, he's like flailing his arms or whatever, and he's just covered in sweat. I thought that was a very funny image.
I love how that guy was like, you know, I don't sweat, and it's like then he gets like grilled and then he starts sweating.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Spoiler.
Like, set up and payoff. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
awesome.
yeah. Well, we didn't say who, so
Do you want to just do spoilers now then?
yeah, I was about to say, might as well just get into spoilers now.
Spoilers for 12 Angry Men.
All right. So
I think the best thing that this movie does, and the thing I'm so happy that it did, is it never reveals like the actual verdict and what it never reveals the killer. It never reveals like
I don't think
whether
that
the kid
yeah, I
did
don't
it or
think
not.
that's the point of the movie. Like
It's not at all.
yeah.
And
It's just about these people, really.
I was going through the movie
Mhm.
and I was waiting for some sort of twist. I was like, there's probably going to be some shitty twist or something. Like maybe one of the jury is, maybe one of them is the killer.
I feel like at
that
this,
would have been. Thank God they didn't.
at
do
this
that.
kind of
Nowadays,
time.
if they remade it, they'd fucking do that. But
At this kind of time
Sorry.
as well, I feel like, you know, a lot of audience probably would have been like frustrated with the ending because they're like, who's the killer? Like
exactly.
But like it doesn't
Like,
matter. You're missing the point if you kind of
Yeah.
think that, I think.
It's not the point at all. The point is just like, the guy's life was at stake and everyone was just dead set that,
Yeah, they were just ready to throw him in the
yeah,
slammer.
without
like,
even thinking about it, they
Yeah.
just like jump to the conclusion. But like,
I think it's just a message to not take things at face value all the time, I guess. And
Mhm.
like, you know,
Oh yeah,
There are-
absolutely.
yeah,
and you
just
know,
take the extra effort to like, yeah, make the right decision or like really think things through. But yeah,
and it's weird as well because like, you know, detective work or whatever back then was like so sketchy. Like it didn't have like everything that we have now to actually like see who was the victim or the murderer or whatever, like
Mhm.
in a crime scene like
Yeah.
this. Like, so they're going off like very little evidence, which I like.
Yeah.
And they're just discussing, you know, like how can this be possible? Like, and it's like every little detail about it that they get into, and it's like, yes, do this. That's
I'm just
awesome.
saying, I think it's possible. I love that quote. I'm just saying, I think it's possible.
We should just talk like them for the entire
Like
fucking
Henry
podcast.
Fonda. Yeah,
Henry Fonda,
Uh,
man, what a fucking performance. He was.
dude.
I think it's the only thing
It's
I've ever
just
seen
like
him in.
so likable. That guy.
He's immediately likable because of like the way he speaks and he carries himself, and he obviously
Yeah.
he's, I wouldn't say a hero of the film, but he's the catalyst for everything that kind of happens.
You could argue he's the hero. Like you could argue he's the protagonist and Lee J. Cobb's like the antagonist, or the whole jury's the antagonist until they kind of change, I guess. I don't know. I mean,
I would agree that they are the clear antagonist and protagonist if there is some in the movie, but
I really like that old guy as well. That old
I
guy
love
was
the old
cool.
guy.
yeah,
Fucking
he
love
was the
old guy.
first to really join the side of him. Yeah,
Mhm.
he was nice.
I was taking notes while I was watching the movie. Like I was pausing every once in a while, and one of my notes was just, "I love the old man."
Yeah,
It's like fucking
He's so
adored him.
good.
he's great.
When he's talking about like the old man's limp.
Yeah.
I fucking love that part. And it just
Mhm.
holds on him for such a long
Yeah.
time, and he was just talking about like, oh yeah, a man who carries himself like that, clearly has like a lot of what was it again?
Well, he was talking about like how like he's kind of downtrodden.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like nobody really listens to him anymore or whatever. And then
Just kinda wants
the
the
other
attention.
guy's like, "How would you know?" And then he's like, he just kind of falls silent, and it's like, "Oh no,
Yeah,
man."
When I was talking about like having a visceral reaction to the film, when he presents the second knife, I fucking gasped. I
Ooh.
thought that was fucking.
That was
Yeah.
such a powerful
Genius.
moment. That was such a good moment. That's like one of the most iconic moments of the movie. It's so good. Back in the 50s, everyone probably gasped like, "Oh
Yeah,
my
that-
pearls!"
That was me because like there was obviously there's a lot of talk of like how unusual a knife is, and like it's one of the only of its kind, and then he fucking pulls out the knife and stabs it into the table. It's brilliant.
And
It is
it's really
brilliant.
everyone
interesting.
just like,
It's really interesting as well. Like when he goes to do like the other guy, the like antagonist, if you want to call him that, like goes to do
Yeah.
like that demonstration on him, and he's literally like about to stab Henry
Oh,
Fonda
I
or
know.
whatever, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Don't fucking do it, Jesus!"
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of a moment it's probably my favorite moment of the movie is when he's just like Lee J. Cobb, that's the antagonist
yeah.
guy. He just like starts just, reeling into Henry Fonda, and then he's like, how did it go? Gosh. He's like, you would put him in the chair if you had the chance, and then he's like, you bet I would, and then he's like,
Oh, yeah.
and then he just starts like calling him like a sadist and stuff, and then he's like, oh, how did it go, man? You might remember it better than me, but it's just like their interchange.
Yeah, they were having a whole conversation earlier about how the old man, in the apartment below, said that they heard the kid scream, "I'm going to kill you," and
Yeah.
then he starts riling Lee J. Cobb up, and then he's just like, "Oh, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you," and then Henry Fonda.
Oh, he's like, you don't actually mean that,
Yeah.
do you?
Oh, there's so
And
many
then,
fucking parts.
Yeah,
in
it's
this
just
movie
that
are
the
just
interchanges,
genius.
and then just like the way he realizes, like, you're right, I actually don't mean it. Like, oh my god, it's just so damn good.
I think the
Like, the way
dialogue
that
is like
these
the
play out.
strongest thing in the movie. It's like always
I mean,
just
yeah.
so well written.
It's what the movie's built off of. Like one of my favorite pieces of dialogue in the movie is kind of the whole dilemma. Henry Fonda's in the bathroom and he's cleaning up and he's talking to which guy is it? Fucking I think it's like
I think it's a
Jerome.
baseball guy.
No. He was talking
Was
to
it?
the baseball.
The
guy.
the guy before that.
No, I think he was the guy he talked to before he left the bathroom, and that guy was just like, what if he did actually kill him?
And you're
love
trying
that
to
little
talk us
part.
out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so it's like that's
Well,
another good
it's
point,
good
too.
for it's good for the viewer, I think, because it doesn't make you forget, like, you're kind of on the
There's a
side of Henry
possibility.
Fonda, like, maybe we should like actually look into this, but maybe we're wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then again,
I
like
loved how it showed
he
both
says
sides.
he says it constantly throughout the movie whenever anyone asks him, and he's always like, I don't
if he
know.
did it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's not like saying it's definite or anything like that. Like he's not trying to convince everyone that it's definite. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. We should find out.
Yeah, I moments like that, just like, yeah, I think the movie just really tries to tell you, like, do the right thing, but make up your own mind. Don't just go with the crowd.
Yeah.
And like, and because there's even a moment to where, like, in the movie, I think one of them kind of sides with Henry Fonda just for the sake of doing it. Like, let's get this over with quicker. And he was like,
It was the baseball guy.
but do you actually believe it? Like,
Yeah.
So like that was good too.
And what the German guy was grilling him on it is just like, you don't really believe that, do you? And he's just like, "Well, I guess I do. Why do you believe that? Because I don't think he did it.
Yeah.
I think the most like kind of annoying character for me though was like the advertising guy, like the Don
was.
Draper-esque guy. Like
Yeah, I was thinking
just
he was
really
Don Draper.
cocky, like.
I haven't
he
even seen
did that
man.
whole like routine or whatever where he's like kneeling on the chair and like doing a whole like
Yeah.
presentation. It's like, dude, just shut the fuck up.
But then again, yeah, it just goes to show again, like,
Well, they're all
how
so different. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just, and I love how they're all so different because, like, they're all so memorable in their own way. And they
Yeah.
don't even have, like, names. Like, I don't even know their names. They're just Juror 1, Juror 2. But, like, they're so memorable.
It's good that
because
they
of
don't
that,
like
so.
have names attached because like that
Yeah.
can give you some sort of attachment to the characters and stuff, but like
Mhm.
that's not really their point for the runtime of the movie. So
I do love that, the old man comes up to Henry Fonda at the end and asks his name. I think that is a
That's what I was about to
perfect
say.
ending. Yeah.
You spend the entire movie arguing, debating, and just like talking, but like we don't even know each other's names. Like that was kind of like, oh yeah, they never even introduced themselves to each other.
he kind of like
I was
the
like,
movie
wow.
the movie ended like in that kind of that scene in Dumb and Dumber where it's just like, well, see you later. Like it was just kind of like that. Like, he just asks his name and then
A
he's
little
like,
bit.
bye.
I mean,
But also, I
handled better than that, yeah. But
think juries in real life are supposed to be anonymous. I don't think they're supposed to know anything about each other.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the whole
probably.
basis of that episode in Peep
Which-
Show as well.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
they're not supposed to know anything about each other. They break every rule.
Which is, yeah, after they fucking give the verdict, he asks his name. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that it just shows, they give the verdict. The kid's gonna live whether he did it or not. but they feel like they did the right
Mhm.
thing because of all the evidence they sorted through. I fucking love most of the stuff with the glasses guy, like when they're talking about like the indentations on the woman's nose from like across the block.
Oh, the glasses, yeah.
And that was like the thing that got him on their side, and then it only left Lee J.
Yeah.
Cobb. And even then, I love the
Yeah.
stuff with Lee J. Cobb's character. Like, you know, early on it's
I
presented.
feel so bad for him too, because like the stuff with his son and like how he ripped up the picture, and like he has this like just like this hatred for everything, but like
I
you
didn't-
understand where he's coming from. He's like a tragic character, really.
I
tragic
didn't
character.
feel bad for him at first, but by the end of it, I kind of changed my
Right.
tune a little bit. Because at first, it kind of just feels like he's just a shit dad. Like, but
Mhm.
but then you see, like, you know, as the movie goes on, he's actually kind of regretful about most of
Yeah.
his decisions.
Yeah.
So
It just
Yeah.
yeah, it's heartbreaking. Yeah, it's just wow.
yeah, it's just he's very like casual about it at the start. So I was just kind of like, whatever, I don't care about
Mhm.
this guy. But then I did.
Yeah. To me, he's the most compelling character just because of that whole arc. Like out of the whole movie, he changes the most to me, and so like he's probably my favorite character. As much as I love Henry Fonda, like I don't love Lee J. Cobb, but I love his arc in this. It's just like that's what gets me like emotionally, I guess, out of the whole movie. And then at the end when he like puts on the coat for him or like helps, you know, like helps the
Yeah.
jacket on him, like I was like, oh, that's fucking nice.
Yeah. That's
It's
12
just a
Angry Men.
beautiful movie.
It's
Yeah,
fucking masterful.
it is.
I'm pissed off it took me this long to watch it, but I'm also kind of glad I watched it now, you know, in that kind of way. But I feel like if I watched it any time, I would have been riveted because it is that fucking good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great one.
Yeah, it's just it gets better each time you watch it too. It's just yeah.
I'll definitely.
And it's
be
not long. It's
rewatching it.
like 90 minutes long as well. So.
Exactly. Yeah, just like I feel like you just throw it on whenever, you know, like
Which probably
it's one of
should
those
be the
movies.
case as well for a like bottle film. I think. Like I don't think
Oh,
they
yeah.
should really overstay their welcome, but
No, that was
you know.
it was perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it just kept me really hooked.
There is
Yeah.
actually a remake of it that I'm quite interested in. William Friedkin did it in 1997, and
Oh,
the cast is brilliant. I love the cast, and it has like
Dude, George C.
reviews.
Scott as
Yeah.
in Lee J. Cobb's place is perfect casting.
That
That's
sounds like
the
perfect
only-
casting. Yeah.
oh, it is.
Yeah, George C. Scott. Just imagine him yelling. Oh, I can't wait to watch that.
And then it's got like James Gandolfini
yeah, the
as
director is-
baseball guy. Really good
Oh
cast.
god. I'm actually looking forward to that too. Like if they remade it today, then I would be upset. But if you got William Friedkin and that cast, like I'm fine with it.
That's got me hopeful.
I can imagine it being made today, and it's like all women, and it's about like
knew
you know,
it.
it's
I was
all
gonna
like.
think the same thing.
But the crime is like, I don't know, a TikTok star like died doing a stunt or something like that. But it could be murder or some shit like that. And
Sounds
then
like
they
a
decide.
Tubi original if I ever heard one.
Oh
That's
my
a pretty
god.
Sounds like a
Conway case.
Tubi original.
Mark my words, it's gonna happen one day.
12 Angry Women. No, 12 Misunderstood Women is probably what it's gonna be called or something. But,
12 badass bitches.
Yeah. That's
Anyway.
great. Yeah, amazing movie, perfect movie, 5 out of 5.
I'm
For me,
around.
It's gotta be.
I'm around a 9 out of 10 right now, but it could go up on a rewatch honestly because it was really that fucking good.
I'm with Quinn.
Yeah.
It's a 10 out of 10 on first watch, and I'll probably watch it again because it's
Yeah.
It's so good.
so engaging. Very
Yeah.
easy watch, very entertaining, riveting, thought provoking. Everything you could want in a movie. It's awesome.
Yep.
One of the best debuts ever, for sure.
Classic for a reason.
Speaking
And
of classics
another
for a reason,
classic. Huh? Oh, do we literally?
I think you
do
both
a
just said the
segue
same
at the same
thing.
time.
yeah,
Usually I do the segues, but I guess you can do that every now and then too for me. I don't care.
I'm so sorry, Quinn.
You're the...
Well, you have to contribute
No,
something.
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so anyway, another classic, Dog Day Afternoon. Which your profile picture's not Dog Day Afternoon anymore. I thought you would keep that for this episode.
I was going to change it,
slide
but I
it
thought
on
it'd
for
be
now.
a bit obvious. This was the one I really wanted to talk about, and I thought because it was my first episode, it'd be a good idea to talk about a film that I consider one of my absolute favorites. Even though I only saw it
Spitting.
for the first time 2 years ago, I think. I saw it like near the tail end of like lockdown and COVID and all that. But it struck me instantly. On first watch, I fucking loved it, and each subsequent watch, it's just my love for it has grown and grown, and it's now in my top 5 favorite films of all time, easily. I think it's one of few absolutely perfect movies to me. Like a lot of my favorite movies, I don't think they're perfect, but Dog Day Afternoon is one I think that is flawless. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Yeah, this was I've seen it twice. I loved it my first time, but the second time really solidified it too. Like, this is I mean I don't know where it'd fall in my top 100 list of favorite movies, but it's
100?
probably up there. It's probably close, at least in the 100. I mean, yeah, it's not in my top 5, but like it's I have it as 5 stars. So like I loved it too, and I can't think of anything really wrong with it. I don't know how long this movie is. Is it over 2 hours? Like
2 hours 5 minutes.
About like always just picture this as like being a big like scope like of a movie. Like I always felt like it was over 2 hours. Not that like the pacing was bad, but like it's a bigger bottle film than like 12 Angry Men. It's like a lot more going on. It's a lot crazier. So like
there are only really 3 central locations throughout the entire movie. And like you spend the majority of it in the bank.
Should we give a plot for like people who don't know, like if they're listening to this non-spoilery bit?
That's true. We should give a plot.
Yeah, Dog Afternoon is about a real bank robbery that occurred in 1972, and I think that's all that I should give away, because I think a lot of plot synopses of it give away something that happens like halfway through the movie. I don't think that's right. I think that's like a big spoiler, even though it is like a thing that really happened in real life. But I think
it kind of annoyed me as well, because when I went on binge to watch it, it did give like a synopsis, and I kind of glanced at it, and then like a couple of words caught my eye, and then I like double looked at it, and I was like, oh, now I know what it's about, and it gave away that like little bit as well. So I was like, fuck's sake.
So many movies do that these days. They give away like half of the movie in the plot synopsis, thinking that's like, oh, I'm not spoiling the end. Just give the inciting incident and that's it. Like all I need to know is what the fuck like kicks off the plot, and just let me figure out from there. But nah, I mean, either way, like this movie's full of like twists and turns and like stuff to keep you engaged. You know, like
in its simplest terms, it's a bank robbery movie, but it's more about the political culture at the time and where everyone was at. Like, you know, I think this was like the very end of like the Vietnam War. I think this would have happened, like, you know, the lead 2 characters, they're vets, they're Vietnam vets. That's mentioned like quite early on in the film. It deals with like a lot of mistrust of like, you know, the police, like those kinds of institutions and all that. And it happened, like, obviously the most famous scene in the film is where, you know, Al Pacino is riling up the crowd, shouting, Attica, Attica.
Attica!
Yeah.
Attica! I love that scene.
Oh my god, every scene that occurs outside the bank is, fucking amazing.
It's great. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I just love that.
It's just that in its most simplest terms, and around like the media circus that surrounded the event, because it was like a 14-hour event that happened in real life, and it had a heavy coverage.
That's insane. I didn't know this was based off true events my first time I saw it. Like, that is just wow.
It says it at the beginning of the movie.
It does?
Yeah.
I must have missed that part. I was too distracted by that awesome Elton John song.
That is probably one of my favorite openings to a film ever as well, even though it's so
Elton
simple.
John song?
No, I mean like the whole 5-minute sequence, like as it plays out over it, like just the shots of New York, and it's kind of getting smaller in scale. You kind of get a feel for like the place. You see everyone going their day-to-day lives, and it's just going to this song, and then it focuses on Al Pacino and the other 2, and then the song, like, you know, it goes diegetic. They're listening to it on the radio, and he turns it off, and then they go into the bank. I think it's such a simple opening. It sets the tone so fucking well.
For sure, it's a great opening.
These were both first-time watches for me, so I didn't really I didn't know too much about them, but all I knew was that like this was one of Keelan's favorites, so I wanted to give it my full attention.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just no worries. It kind of just gave me like this longing for more Al Pacino, honestly.
I was about to say, yeah, fuck. I mean, how can we not? You have to start off with like Al Pacino, just like easily carries the movie. Like if there was like a less interesting actor, then like the movie probably wouldn't be as good.
I read that apparently it was like planning to go to Dustin Hoffman at one point, and that would have been a tragedy, because I do not like that guy very much.
Oh, I know you don't like him, but depending on the role, I don't know.
I don't think he can do this one as well as Al Pacino.
No,
Yeah.
he couldn't have. He couldn't have. Al Pacino's like crazy eyes the whole time. Like it's just fucking eyes are just wide open. Like
He's just really in
he's so
it.
electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And electric is like the one word I'd use to describe this film because it gives off such a it's just fucking simply electric. Every scene I'm in it. Like I literally just watched it a couple of hours ago again. Totally focused the entire time. Was not, it did nothing else distracted me, which is rare for me with movies. Pacino's performance is probably top 5 for me. I think it's the best I've ever seen him. I don't think I've seen such a layered performance in such like short span of time in terms of what the movie covers, I suppose. He does carry the movie.
Yeah, he does.
Absolutely.
His conversations outside the bank with Charles During, who played, Moretti, the first police chief he was talking to, all of their conversations are some of my favorite scenes in cinema. Like,
Yeah, they're
fuck
really good.
me. Like when they're both just yelling at each other and the crowd is like fucking piping up and shit. It's there's nothing better. There's
Just
nothing better.
Having the crowd build like outside, like, and you feel like you can just hear them whenever you're in the bank. So like, it keeps that electric feeling, I guess, of the movie. Like you're constantly, it's just it never lets up. Like you never feel like you get a break to just like breathe. Like whenever you do, then like something goes wrong. Like we have to fix this. Oh no, now like this is wrong. Like there's constantly stuff coming up, and it just keeps me so just hooked. You're right. I mean, this is probably the best Al Pacino performance I've seen, apart from really close to Scent of a Woman. Like that's really close for Al Pacino.
I really just
Where he
need
plays
to,
a blind guy.
I need to see more from him because I checked what I've seen, and it's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's like one scene, The Irishman and Insomnia, and then that's it. And this as well.
Man, yeah, Scent of a Woman, Serpico, the Godfather movies. Like, there's a plenty of good
Yes,
Al
I've seen
Pacino.
The
Like, a lot of
Godfather.
it's old Al Pacino too, but yeah.
I've just looked. I've only seen him in 7 movies, and he's fucking amazing in all of them. I thought I'd seen him in more of them.
Devil's Advocate, he's great in that. I feel like he's just always kind of yelling, but it's still good. He's still good.
I watched Dick Tracy quite recently. He played the villain in that, and he's the best part of it. He's fucking insane in it, and he was nominated for an Oscar for it, weirdly, but it's Al Pacino, I suppose, so makes sense.
Yeah.
He's earned his place as one of the greatest actors of all time, without a doubt.
Yeah.
As well as Al Pacino, I think the supporting cast is so fucking strong. Like, okay, first of all, you got John Cazale as, Sal, his sidekick or whatever. He's also fucking amazing. And he's only, you probably know this, Quinn, but he was only in 5 movies ever, and they were all nominated for Best Picture. Died pretty early.
I didn't know the Best Picture part, but...
No, yeah, he was only, like, in Dog Day Afternoon, The Three Godfathers, Deer Hunter, and I think that was it.
I know he died of an illness, though, didn't he? He
Lung
died
cancer,
of,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is funny, because in the movie he has that whole speech about, your body's a temple. You shouldn't be smoking
Exactly.
cigarettes.
It makes it even more sad. It just like
It's a
makes
tragic irony.
different. It is. But no, he was great for the short career that he did have. Wow. Yeah, I wish we could have seen more of him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He definitely had so much more to give.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines in the movie comes from him when Al Pacino's like, "What country do you want to go to?" He's like, Wisconsin. Doesn't he say Wisconsin or Wyoming? Wyoming.
Yeah. That was improvised, wasn't it?
Was
it?
Well, I think I heard about
you
it.
You should know, Keelan.
I think I heard about it being
sorry.
like something that wasn't in the script, and it like Al Pacino's reaction is genuine because he didn't know he was going to say that.
If I didn't know he was going to say that, I probably would have just bust out laughing. But
He has
doesn't
so
he
many
say
fucking
like that's
funny...
not a country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he's talking to his wife later, he's going, "Oh yeah, Sal said he wanted to go to Wyoming." That was fun. And also when on the TV they're like, "Oh, they're being held hostage by 2 homosexuals," and then fucking John Cazale is just like, "You gotta tell them, man, I'm not a homosexual, man. They said there's 2 homosexuals in here. I'm not a homosexual."
It was so important for him to get that corrected.
And even when the one dude comes in and inspects the place, he's like, "You gotta tell them that I'm not a homosexual."
I feel like it's because at this point he knows they're not getting out of this, so he just wants like his reputation, like I don't want to die people thinking like this about me. type thing. Like they probably knew like they weren't getting out of that halfway through it.
I think one of the things that surprised me about this film the first time I watched it is how funny it is. Like I think the first half an hour is just a pure comedy. Like it is quite funny.
Yeah.
It's really fucking funny. Like Al Pacino just running
It
around,
is.
fucking spraying all the cameras, moving along, folks. It's fucking great.
It's like even
Yeah,
the
just-
initial
yeah.
like thing of him getting the gun out of the like
He
package
fucking
that he brought it
fumbles
in.
all
Like he
around.
just
so
fucks it
like
up immediately.
he's just so like spastic that like it, I don't know, it gives this whole just this crazy character. Yeah, you just couldn't have the same movie without him. And then like all the stuff with like his wife and his secret lover, like there's so much crazy stuff they throw into the plot, and like but it works.
Should probably
you know.
do spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true. Yeah. All right.
Spoilers for Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mentioned that as being a spoiler, but that was like the first thing I'd heard about the movie ever, because like one of my friends who's also trans was obsessed with this movie for a while, and he kept going on about it, and he was telling me like the true story or whatever. I didn't know, he didn't say anything about the actual events in the film, but more so to do with, you know, their relationship and what happened before and after the film. I think it's very interesting how sensitive they portray it as well. Like it doesn't seem like a huge deal, but like people comment on it obviously. Like there's the two cops who, when Leon is brought into the barbers where like the fucking cops are staying, two cops are just saying, oh, what queers.
Well, it's kind of shitty like that mixed with like how Al Pacino is like patting people down later on, and they're all just going, ooh, like, you know, like it's just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
shitty. Like
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is.
For a film that came out in 1975, it was way more sensitive than I thought it would be with that subject matter. But the one thing that kind of rubs me wrong about the film is that the guy in real life was kind of a prick. I mean, I know they kind of touch on it in the movie, but in the movie he's portrayed as like more of an anti-hero than anything. Like you believe in what he's doing, like his cause is pretty noble. But in real life he was just kind of like, he was like a self-admitted pervert. Apparently.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I,
I
mean,
guess
I don't
that's
think they
weird.
try to make him like a very redeemable character though, like because they say a lot of like shitty things that he does
They
or
do.
whatever, and yeah, you can definitely
But
see that in the
they do-
performance.
They do say all that shitty stuff, but I think at the end of the day you are supposed to root for him because of like what the film's trying to say about like the police at the time. Like there's like a serious mistrust there because of
Yeah.
like, you know, the Attica stuff. And you know, that's
Yeah, I
how
was
he
about
gets
to say,
that's how he gets the crowds on his side. That's how he like riles them up, and they're pretty much constantly on his side.
yeah, like Sidney Lumet had to like choose like what's the lesser of two evils here. Like, do I want to portray the real life guy badly, or do I want to portray the, you know, the system badly? And I can't blame him for wanting to portray the system badly if that was the bigger issue at the time, obviously. So,
Oh yeah, like especially with like, you know,
but
the Vietnam War just ending, and like how, you know, veterans were treated, like they were just sent home with fucking PTSD and shit.
yeah, it's fucked up.
PTSD and fucking opioid addictions. When Leon comes into it an hour in, I think every scene between them is great as well. Like
Yeah.
Chris Sarandon is fucking amazing in it as well. I love how he portrays Leon. Like their conversation on the phone together, like with the police listening and all that. I fucking love that scene. Even the scene where
Yeah.
like, they're just talking, like the fucking policemen are just talking to Leon and all that. I love all that shit. Oh, I'll let you talk. I don't think Liam said much this whole conversation, so I'll let one of you speak.
Sorry. I don't really know what to say sometimes. That's all. I just
Oh, that's fine.
the movie like was just quite a lot for me,
It's a
and
lot to take in.
I'll be honest as well. Like as it went on, I was sort of losing interest, like in the midsection a little bit, but then it came back as it went on. But
I
yeah,
think,
I
yeah,
might
the
have just
V-
been tired. I don't know.
I
I mean, I will say that, like, yeah, for me as well, is even though to me it's still a perfect movie, like I'm always engaged. The opening and the beginning act and the final act are like the strongest parts for me.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of memorable moments in the middle, but it does kind of like, you know, it's just riding that line of like, okay, this is necessary to keep in, like, you know, focus on this to me. But yeah.
I can see people kind of losing interest, like as the second act kind of transitions into the third act, where everything's kind of winding down, and there's not a lot really going on. Like, there's conversations between Sonny and the FBI agent and all that, but besides that, it's mostly just like character stuff between like the bank tellers. And
I think it's like the section like after that police guy like goes away and the FBI guy takes over. Like that little section there is like what kind of made me go.
I can understand
wavering.
That. It's still riveting to me.
Just because I loved those conversations so much, like between him and that police guy, like they were just always so engaging.
And I don't think the FBI agent is quite as entertaining as the police person, but you know, obviously they're trying to portray it in a certain way, and I like that it's like that. And you're at a point you are kind of longing to talk to the police because the FBI they do everything like very routinely, and he's like very stoic, very flat with how he approaches the whole situation. Like the fucking policeman is like giving them fucking pizzas and shit, so you kind of lose out on that element. So I can understand people kind of falling off around that point.
I also found another part really interesting, like just like the people that they hold hostage in the bank. At first they're so like terrified, obviously, and throughout the movie they kind of like warm up more and more to the robbers, and then by the like it almost starts seeming like they love the attention. Like whenever they step outside to like the crowd for a second, they're like waving and stuff, and like it's kind of, I thought that was pretty interesting, or like funny, I guess.
Yeah, like the main bank teller was like waving at everyone, and like there was that news reporter that was like coming out of the window like talking to her. Like having the microphone in her face, like just hanging from the fucking microphone lead. That was great.
Yeah, because like these are just regular everyday people that, I mean, this like their 15 minutes of fame, you know, type thing. So like, yeah, it was kind of another interesting part.
The whole camaraderie between, you know, Sonny and the bank tellers and all that, that's really endearing to me. Like all the conversations
it's
between
like the heart of the movie.
Oh yeah. Like, like we're talking about. Oh, well, I was talking about the main bank teller and how she was like, you know, talking to like the media guys, and then when Charles Duran goes over to her to like bring her out, and she's like, "No, I gotta go back into my girls." I thought that was great.
Yeah. The ending when they all kind of cram into the car is like when it gets super. Like I was like, okay, the fun's over. Like we had our fun. Now it's like, this is just. It kind of gets miserable at that point.
It's so fucking
like
intense.
when I mean, you know, like because you just know something's gonna go wrong, and like it's so tense. I don't know.
No, yeah, like when they're all, you know, they're kind of all huddled together coming out of the bank and trying to find a way to get into the car, because like, you know, Sonny and Sal are both in between like all the bank tellers, so you know they can't shoot at them. But like even there's like that one sniper that's like trained on them, and it's so intense. But even when they get into the car and they start driving off, the tension doesn't stop.
Bishop's driving them.
Oh yeah. Good old fucking Lance Henriksen. But then the climax in JFK is it's another Sidney Lumet film that got a visceral reaction out of me the first time I watched it, because I didn't know anything. I didn't know the outcome of the story. Like when they're all just sitting in the car and there's like that tension when like the FBI agent comes up the window and Lance Henriksen turns to fucking Sal and he's like, you know, remember what I said, you got to keep that gun pointed up before they fucking reach for the guns. That shit was fucking. He's very good at building tension. I think he's very good at building it, even through just dialogue. But that one situation it sticks out so well in my mind. The whole scene
was very intense,
Just kind of makes you, just feel sick afterwards.
Yeah.
And I mean, these guys weren't good guys, but like still.
And like, but like another point, like their camaraderie with the fucking bank tellers is when like they take the Spanish woman out of the car, and she gives Sal her like cross necklace. It's just like, oh, take this, you know, keep hold of it. It's just like, oh shit.
Man,
that man's not making it.
Nope. Something good happens to one of these characters, and you just know something not good will follow. But
well, I mean, the guy was like very menacing about how he was like, you know, I'll take care of Sal. Don't you worry about that. I was like, oh no, come on. Leave him alone.
Sal did nothing wrong. Justice for Sal.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, he was pretty much like manipulated into the whole thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was probably all in on it too, but he wasn't like the brains of it all.
No.
So, but yeah, I mean, Pacino lived, even though he probably went away for the rest of his life. I don't know.
No, he only served 5 years.
Really? Only 5 years for that?
Yeah.
I guess for armed robbery?
I think the sentence was 10 to 20 years or something, but he got out after 5.
Damn. I didn't know that. I mean, maybe they said it at the end yet again, and I just don't read those parts.
They said at the end that he was, serving 10 years in jail, but like he got out after the movie was released. Because the movie only came out 3 years after.
Yeah, it came out very
incident
soon
happened.
after that, didn't it?
Yeah, because
Wow.
the real guy actually used the money that he got from selling the rights to the movie to pay for his wife's sex change operation. Yeah.
Huh.
How about
Wow. Yeah, everything comes full circle.
But after the sex change, they never spoke again. Like she didn't want to see him ever again, and I think he attempted suicide because of it.
I mean, yeah. After all that,
They both seem like very fucked up people, honestly.
yeah, two fucked up people together, not a good combo. Yeah, I don't know. Two masterful Sidney Lumet movies.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Dog Day
I mean-
Afternoon needs a rewatch for me, like for me to call it something masterful or whatever. But like, I really did like it quite a lot. It's just it kind of
Don't
lost me.
sugarcoat it. You hated it.
Fuck
being
you! I didn't
nice.
hate it.
You're being
It-
nice.
I want to rewatch it. But yeah, it was really
A
really
rewatch
good.
helped me.
Yeah,
A rewatch definitely helped me solidify it as like, this is a 5. For me though, I do prefer 12 Angry Men, like by a long shot. Like Dog Day Afternoon is still perfect, but like 12 Angry Men is just, I could throw it on any time, probably.
it's
So-
it's an
and I
easier
think I
movie
watched
to watch.
it first, and
It's definitely an
Yeah.
easier one to watch.
Yeah, it's it's
Yeah.
easier and shorter. It's easier to get into.
Maybe it's just my disdain for movies right now. Maybe that's all it is. But
oh
I can't see myself like really loving Dog Day Afternoon after a while. But it's great.
Mhm.
It's a great movie.
6 out of
yeah, for sure.
No,
10.
it's
Oh, that'd be
At least
that'd be
an 8.
bad. At least good.
yeah,
What was Goodfellas? What'd you give that one again?
that would be an 8 as well.
Oh, hey, we're
Okay,
both
good.
in the same boat
As long as you
there.
gave that at least an 8.
Yeah, that's another one that I would totally rewatch and it could go up.
Good.
Yeah,
Well, it's better than Kath giving it fucking 3 out of 10. That
yeah. What the
almost
hell?
gave me a
Kath?
heart attack. Yeah.
You know.
Wait,
Worse
3
than
out
I
of
used
10?
to
You mean
watching
3
that.
stars?
Oh, I mean 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I was gonna
if she
say,
gave it 3 out of
Jesus.
10.
Oh
then,
boy,
I
relationship
don't know if
over.
we could stay together. Just kidding.
You want to
Yeah.
hear something worse, Quinn? I've only seen the first hour of it.
Oh, no,
man.
Keelan.
Hey, the first hour is arguably, people say it's the best part of the movie, but I disagree. I think it's all perfect.
I agree with you, Quinn, about like the last hour
Dude,
being
yeah.
the best. Like
Yeah, and
that
people,
whole
everyone
the whole
says,
helicopter sequence, fucking
No
it's
spoilers,
nuts.
no spoilers.
Yeah, just like,
no spoilers.
oh yeah,
don't worry.
sorry, no, can't spoil it, but yeah, we'll save that for the Goodfellas or Scorsese episode or something.
do it.
I don't know.
Oh
Love
my
to do a
god, a
Scorsese
Scorsese episode would go on forever.
Oh, that
We should
take
just pick a main
forever.
chunk.
That'd have to be, yeah.
But yeah, I only turned off
Uh,
Goodfellas after an hour because I was very tired and I was like, look, I'm gonna watch this in full when I'm, actually awake because it's fucking
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
good. It's a good reason to put it off.
I have to do a bit you have to cut in. I didn't give my rating.
Oh,
Sure.
As if anyone had any, questions
Top
about
5
it.
films of all time. I wonder if he's gonna give it a 5.
And my rating for Dog Day Afternoon is 10 out of 10. It is the
Really?
best film of all time.
groundbreaking news.
I know
Nice.
it may shock some of you guys, but it's pretty good.
All right, well, let's get into listener questions.
Yeah.
There you go. First question from movies that don't suck. Favorite Al Pacino movie?
Right now, this Dog Day Afternoon.
Really?
Yes. I mean,
thought you liked
in
The
terms of his
Irishman more.
performances. No, in terms of his performances, this fucking takes the whole cake for sure.
If you were to say even like movie aside, like he's in the movie. Like it doesn't matter if it's a big or small part.
Well, as a movie, I prefer The Irishman. That's probably an unpopular opinion, I think. Maybe. I don't
He's
know.
awesome. in it.
Maybe. Yeah.
People are always
he was
very
good.
like back and forth about The Irishman. I never know if people like that movie or not.
I think some people are just weird about the length.
I mean, it's got like all the classic like iconic old men actors like Harvey Keitel, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino,
I
fucking
forgot
Joe
he was in
Pesci.
it.
Like it's got everybody. Yeah. I
forgot
mean, Harvey
Keitel was
Keitel
in
wasn't in it for very much, but
He was
even
in it
like
for, like,
Ray
one scene.
Romano, like fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love Ray Romano in that
but-
movie. I'm starting
Yeah,
to
he's so
fucking love
good.
Ray Romano.
he's so underrated. He is underrated, Ray Romano. I mean, I've loved him ever since like Everybody Loves Raymond, like growing up watching that as a kid. But
I never watched that.
it's one of my favorite sitcoms ever, but that's a lot due to nostalgia.
But like, me and Liam watched Bad Education quite recently, and he's fucking amazing in that
Oh
too.
yeah, he's so good in that. Yeah.
I love his like accent in that and his whole like demeanor and his mustache. He's just, I don't know.
That was just his
He's so
You
accent,
need to
dude.
watch if you're looking for more good Ray Romano, watch Paddleton.
I
That's
love
another good one
Paddleton.
with oh yeah, you've seen it?
I love Paddleton.
Yeah. That one, it's one of those movies though, like one watch and like I don't know if I can watch it again.
It's,
fucking so depressing.
It's Mark Duplass as well, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
always
Yeah, Mark
I'm
Duplass.
always sold on him, and I'm so excited
Yeah.
for that movie with him and Sterling K. Brown coming out. What's the fucking movie called?
Biosphere.
Biosphere. Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Oh, and Creep 3 for whenever that comes out.
If
It's
it
gotta
ever
come
comes
soon.
out.
I think it will. And then last Ray Romano one's The Big Sick. That's another
He's great in
pretty
Big
good
Sick.
one. Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I never watched that. I should watch that.
Favorite Al Pacino movie, not favorite Ray Romano movie. Man, Dog Day Afternoon might be my favorite. Yeah. I mean, I've seen like Heat, Serpico, Scarface, Insomnia, Scent of a Woman. Like, there's like so many good Al Pacino movies, but this has to be, as a movie as a whole, has to take it.
I would think
one more.
I would think that Heat contests it though. Like from what I've heard, it's like one of his best.
I was
Like I
Yeah.
haven't seen it, but yeah.
And
I was-
people would say like Scarface too, but
Oh yeah, obviously yeah.
I mean, but
yeah, I was
and
gonna
no, I guess everybody. Sorry
Sorry.
to cut you off one more time.
That's
but
grand.
I was just about to say, I feel like everybody would probably disagree with us and say that Godfather is like his best, but he's so subdued in the Godfather movies that it's not his best to me.
I can't say I haven't seen the Godfather movies yet.
I still have to
He's
see
very
the
subdued.
I still have to see the sequels, but he is fucking amazing in the first one, in my opinion.
It's just his like performance in Dog Day Afternoon. It's like Keelan said, it's so electric and so animated. Like it's just really hard to beat, I think. Yeah.
Absolutely. And one more underrated Al Pacino movie is Cruising by William Friedkin.
Really wanna see it.
It's like a giallo slasher movie. It's just
Is
so
it?
dark and crazy. Yeah, it's a slasher movie, and it's got Al Pacino as the lead, and it's by William Friedkin. So like, yeah, that's definitely one worth checking out.
I thought it was just like a
for
movie
people.
about like the gay community in the 80s.
Yeah, people hate it because like they think it's portraying the gay community badly. I'd have to rewatch it to even know. It's been a while, but it's like an Americanized giallo movie, like that type of slasher. So like it's really interesting. But
That makes me more excited to watch it.
anyway, yeah, it's a weird movie, but yeah.
I'm not gonna say Dog Day Afternoon. I'm just gonna say something
Oh.
else. Dog Day Afternoon would be my favorite performance of his, but I'm just gonna say Heat. I think
Nice.
Heat is the best action film of all time, and he's amazing in it. I love his performance.
Do you prefer that performance or no?
No, but I just
Okay.
wanted to say something that wasn't Dog Day Afternoon because obviously it's
Yeah,
fucking
fair
Dog
enough.
Day Afternoon.
His performance in Heat though has got to
It's so
be one of the
crazy.
most entertaining performances like of all time. Like his lines, there's not one line in that movie that does not make me laugh whenever Al Pacino says it. Like, I mean, there's the iconic like you've got your head all like she's got a great ass. You've got your head all the way up it. Anyway, yeah, it's fucking. And apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently, like, there was a storyline in Heat. This isn't spoiling anything, to where like Al Pacino's character was like hooked on cocaine, but they took that part out, so that would explain why he's so crazy the entire movie. So
No.
instead, it's just Al Pacino being crazy for no reason. So that makes it even better, kind of.
The reason he was crazy the whole movie is because he was actually on cocaine the whole movie.
In real life, I wouldn't doubt it.
No,
I
he
don't know.
admitted that recently.
Oh, wow.
Really? Damn. But no, in all seriousness, people also need to check out Scent of a Woman. I just had to get that in there one more time. That is like legitimately like one of the best monologues you'll ever hear in a movie and one of the best performances. Like, he can play a good blind guy. Anyway,
Not as good
that
as
was my
Donnie.
last
And
Al Pacino thing. All right, so reviews asked, whose filmography is more diverse, Lumet's or Spielberg's? I know you guys have only seen these two, right? Lumet.
From looking through his filmography, it probably has to be Spielberg.
Without a doubt.
Have you,
It's Spielberg.
Keelan, have you not seen more than this of Sidney Lumet? I thought you'd seen
No.
Serpico. Oh,
No,
okay.
I want to see them, but
Yeah, I want to see Serpico.
It is Spielberg, like, without a doubt, because I've seen Serpico, The Verdict, Network, and these two movies, and like Lumet, his filmography is not even that diverse. Like, it's always about like
It seems
it's
very.
around either
It seems very similar. Yeah.
yeah, they're all very similar. Like, they're either surrounding like political issues about the police system, the judicial, like the law system, just like stuff like that.
I
Very
think always
like,
male centric as well.
stuff. Yeah, always male centric. Like, and this is just from like the 5 or 6 that I've seen, but they're all his most popular. But like, Spielberg's done war movies, alien movies, fucking like
Yeah, it's definitely Spielberg.
sci-fi, action. Like, he's tackled almost any like genre, so it's got to be Spielberg.
Yeah.
like
Definitely.
looking through Lumet's filmography, there's only 2 movies that stand out as somewhat different. One
Is that one with what's his name?
Vin Diesel.
Ethan Hawke.
Oh no, that seems like to
Oh,
be so
the-
similar. Find Me
Yeah.
Guilty, starring Vin Diesel, which I think is pretty interesting casting. I'm excited to
I
see
didn't know
that.
about that one.
But he
Huh.
also did The Wiz, which is like the musical.
Yeah,
No, not
yeah.
the.
Whoa.
You know the episode of Always Sunny, Liam, where they do The Wiz.
Which one?
You know the one where it's like a musical? Because like I think Charlie watches The Wiz or something. It's the one with I'm gonna say the N-word.
Oh,
it's the
yeah, that
episode.
one. Yeah. I didn't know that was like the Wiz one. I thought that was like just a musical one in general.
I think the inciting incident was them watching The Wiz.
I do remember the one where like Charlie is like being Al Pacino in Serpico the whole
Yeah.
time, but he still does like the Attica chant as well. So it's like he's mixing up all of these different movies.
I think
Uh,
you had thought that I'd seen Serpico because I think on the last episode I watched, I mentioned that episode, or else it was just us talking to each other.
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think I remember you mentioning the Serpico Always Sunny thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, looking at his filmography, Lumet's really like, he's really like a dad's director. Like, he makes like the ultimate like dad boomer movies, but in the best way. So I can't like.
Are we
you can't
boomers
hate
now?
it. We're
I
getting
am
to
for
be
suggesting.
at heart.
I'm a cat dad. That's all.
Actually, there's a film of his that looks really interesting called Death Trap, which has Michael Caine
Yeah.
and Christopher Reeve in it. It's like a murder mystery thing. It looks to be, but looking forward to watching that whenever. I get it.
Yeah, I literally just added like all of his movies to my letterbox list because why not? Moving on to, do you want me to say old child sports
Yes,
question? I never know
yes.
if we should
Yes, you
mention
should.
him.
Yeah, I mean
stuff
it's
to say.
for it's for Keelan mainly. So
Okay, Keelan, thoughts on the baby girlification of Al Pacino? Very serious question.
Valid. He's very hot in Dog Day Afternoon.
As a straight male, I can say I think he's even quote unquote hotter in Serpico, and everybody literally, because if you go to Serpico, that's all the reviews are fucking talking about. Everyone's just fawning over him and his long hair and his beard, and I mean, I'm jealous of his long hair and beard.
kind
I
of
wish I could grow it
better
like that.
looking in Dog Day Afternoon for what I've seen though, isn't he? I mean, he's like
I don't-
sweaty and like his shirt's open. It's kind of like, hello.
But I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm all
I
for
can't
the,
speak to that.
I'm all for the baby girlification of Al Pacino.
Yes, thanks, old child support. Love the streams, by the way.
Thank you, my good friend Old Child Support.
Moving on to wholesome_reviews. Ina, she asked, "Who is your favorite angry man?"
Juror number 3.
Lee J. Cobb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In terms of
he's
his
probably
character.
mine too. You're right. In terms of the character and the performance, that is my favorite. And in terms of like the character arc, but like as a whole, gotta go with Henry Fonda. Like he seems like the most like nice guy ever.
Let's put the main two aside. Like, I'd probably say Henry Fonda as well, but like, putting the main two aside, who
That's
else?
a good point. Yeah.
I would say fuck the old man.
Yeah, the old man. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, it's got to be the old man.
He's
yeah,
great.
Just too wholesome. Yeah, he's just too good.
The old man and the little guy with the glasses. I love those two.
Also, just to clarify,
Oh,
not
Piglet.
not the old racist man, the other one.
No.
The-
Well, they're all
the cute
old men, to be honest. Like most half of them are like pretty old.
But
But
they're
not
really
that
old, though.
But yeah, they're really old. They're
But the thing is, they constantly focus on the old man being very old, even as
That's
if
true.
all of them aren't like fucking pushing 50.
I know, right? I feel like back in the 50s, everybody just looked that old, though. They were so like stressed out and overworked.
Yeah.
They just all looked middle-aged.
That advertising guy as well, he kind of looks like Clark Kent, honestly.
A little bit, yeah.
That and Don Draper.
Uh,
He's just...
And last question from Dawn of the Moving Camera 94. Which lead performance do you think is better, Henry Fonda or Al Pacino? The ultimate question
Pacino.
between these
Pacino
two.
all day,
Yeah,
every
it's
day,
got to be
baby.
Pacino. It has to be.
Love Henry Fonda,
mean, he
but
just-
he's like in comparison, it's just like Pacino did so much with that role. It's just very layered.
Yeah, which to be fair, he's given a lot more to like work with. Like he's given a crazy part, so his performance is gonna stand out more. But in terms of like subtlety, like yeah, Henry Fonda also killed it. But yeah, it's got to be Pacino.
They're both great, but if you had to pick out of both, it's
Yeah,
the obvious choice.
Easily,
All day,
sure,
every day.
for sure. You know, it's funny. I just noticed this whole time we've been talking in the preparation voice chat. We
Oh
didn't
my
even
God,
move
yeah.
to the actual.
What are we
At least
doing?
it's still recording, but
Oh, no.
we were just thrown off by the inclusion of our new co-host.
Ruin everything. Look, the next episode
Yeah.
is Barbenheimer. We'll be on full form.
No, I'm not doing that.
Barbenheimer.
I'm not doing that. Can I just say?
feel like
can
we
I just
have
say
to.
little side thing real quick? I'm so fucking sick of this. Like, I don't look. It was funny at first, but why is it still funny? It's like they have one joke on Filmstagram and it's this, and it's over and over again. Every time I get on there, I'm so sick of it. It's not funny anymore. Come on.
Yeah, I can't wait till it's over. I'm just so disappointed that my theater, like we only have 2 screens and we're not getting Barbie and Oppenheimer at the same time. We're getting Barbie first and Oppenheimer like weeks later. It's fucking stupid, man. But
I don't want to watch Barbie in theaters. That like I know that we might have to for the episode, but like I don't want to do that to myself. I want to watch
I feel
Oppenheimer
bad
and
because
that's it. I just want to watch
Keelan and I
Oppenheimer.
probably get it. Yeah, I know. Me and Keelan get to see the movies for free, right? Since we both
No.
work at the theater. So, oh, you don't get to see it for free?
Not in the first week.
Oh, well, I guess I don't know. I guess
And
that's
I'll-
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
I get 40% off all my pizzas, so not to brag.
there you go. See, we all get perks from our jobs.
I basically got no perks.
Can we just do an Oppenheimer episode, not Barbie, please?
If you want, then you don't have to watch it, and me and Keelan could just like quick talk about it, and then I mean,
Are you actually
Oppenheimer
gonna
could be
go
the
see it
main
in
thing.
theaters?
I mean, it's I get to see it for free. And
I'll be seeing them
look,
both on the
as
same
much
day.
I loved Lady Bird, so like I want to see another Greta Gerwig movie. I just don't know if it's gonna be as good.
I'll be seeing them both. I don't expect Barbie to be like incredible or anything, but I hope it's fun at least.
I mean, I gotta see it for my boy Gosling. You know, you gotta see it for Ryan. If you're gonna see it for anybody, see it for Ryan.
Come on, Liam. It's new personality. It's new personality dropping.
Shut the fuck up. I
Personality's
will
dropping.
wring your neck. I hate you. Oh my god. No, I just
Uh,
don't care, but whatever.
Yeah, it could surprise you. Don't go into the movie wanting to hate it.
Oh, I will.
Just,
Don't
then
do
you're
You
that.
gonna
can't
hate
tell me
it,
what
so
to
then
do.
I know, but like I'm gonna try and go in as open-minded as I can. But the more and more trailers I see, the more I know it's gonna kind of be an annoying movie. So I'm really kind of fucking worried. But-
It's amazing how you said you're going to go in, hating it when you criticize me for not wanting to see Ant-Man 3.
Very different. Very different. You know
Not
it.
at all. Not at all.
Very fucking different. I have stock in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I care about some things in that universe, so therefore I would want to see something that's part of its universe. Barbie is a standalone thing that looks like shit.
Could be a secret MCU movie. Never know.
Shut up. Keelan gets me riled up, dude. Seriously.
We're really scraping the bottom when we're like Barbie's gonna be in the MCU. We're dragging this. We hit a little over 2 hours, so yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. That wasn't too long of an episode. All right, well that's about it. You can follow me at Views by Quinn on Instagram, Letterboxd, Music Board, Goodreads, and Serialized and Threads. Follow me on Threads, the new social media app. I wanted to bring it up as a mini topic. I thought you were going to, Liam,
Nah.
but it's the new Twitter. I'm calling it right now. I don't care. It's already signed up 100 million users in less than a week, which is nuts.
Yeah, it did,
So-
but then like now the place just feels fucking dead. Like honestly.
I don't know if it feels dead. I mean, they've got a lot of work to do. But I'm gonna enjoy the ad-free shit that, you know, Twitter this doesn't have that Twitter has. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm on it, but I don't really care all that much for it. I don't know. It's just kind of like another thing. That's all.
And I mean, not to go on and on about Threads. So I just really like how I can just transfer my Instagram shit right over to it. Like, trying to find Instagram people on Twitter was such, like, I didn't even want to bother doing it. It was like a whole nother thing. But it's just like makes it easy.
So yeah, you can find me on Letterboxd, Serialized, Music Board, Twitter, all pretty much only shallow. You can find me in the link tree in the bio.
Very nice. And you can find me at Movies Music Me on pretty much everything. Link trees in the description. YouTube, Instagram, blah blah blah. Threads if you want. I don't care.
All right, cool. So I guess that's about it. Thanks for listening. It's the first official episode with 3 hosts. And peace out, bitches. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Can't do it as loud anymore. I'm in a new apartment.